Hi and welcome to AmalgamNation. This week's vid is about one of my all-time favourite games, Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. As the name of the game implies, you play the role of a vampire. The story of the game takes place across many centuries. You were once a crusader and you were turned into a vampire. And that's when the game really begins to shine and show you what it's capable of. I've played this particular game at least a dozen times, and I have yet to find everything there is to find in this game. So have no fear, I am not going to be giving you any major spoilers. Now, if you haven't played this game, you may be thinking that vampires are overpowered and asking how can you have a balanced game when you're playing the role of a vampire. The answer to that question is quite simple. Even vampires have to learn to use and control their abilities. Even the simplest of vampiric abilities, such as drinking the blood of a living person, can be improved with practice. There are different types of vampire clans. You had the Borgia, the Cappadocians, the Gangrel, the Assamites, the Toreadors, the Sethites, and Nosferatu, just to name a few of the clans. There are, of course, more than just vampires and humans. There are a lot of the usual monsters from horror stories, and in my opinion that makes for an interesting roleplay game. You have the obvious humans who don't know about the darker things in the world they live in. You have the vampires who are practically immortal, as long as they are smart enough to not get killed. It just means that they need to use common sense. You have ghouls of all kinds, and even werewolves make an appearance in this game. Like I said before, you start off as a crusader in medieval Prague. You get turned into one of the undead, a vampire of Clan Borgia. But it's not all in medieval times. You eventually find yourself in the modern world of the 1990s. And that's enough spoilers for this vid, I think. So what else is good about this game? In a day and age where we are still getting games that aren't fully voice acted, games where your characters never actually speak the words that you select from given options, you have this game. It is almost 15 years old now, and it is fully voice acted. Graphically, it rivals games like The Elder Scrolls Morrowind. Rivals might be a bit strong, but it does actually have the same quality or thereabout of graphics as that game. In the single player game, there is no character creation, but that is for the purposes of a story. I mean, you don't read The Lord of the Rings and think, I wish I could have chosen how Aragorn looked or Frodo looked. This is essentially the same thing at its core. The game does, however, come with tools that allow you to create your own LAN game, share with your friends, if they have the game. You can create everything in those custom games, from the layout of the streets and buildings to the dialogue that the NPCs can say. This of course means that the LAN games are not voice acted, but I think that's a perfectly good trade-off for games like this. What more can you ask for? As I said at the beginning, I love this game. It's one of my favourites. I constantly go back to play it. That's how good it is, in my opinion. And as always, remember, play the game and game to play.